Let's now work on retiming music with remix. Music can have an enormous impact on visual storytelling. Just as an action movie might feel tame without a stirring soundtrack, the most nuanced dialogue can be brought to life with exactly the right musical backdrop. In many ways, the music tells the audience how to feel, so naturally getting it right is crucial. You may discover exactly the piece of music you want and even have the rights to use it in your project only to discover it's too long or too short for your visuals. What do? For many years, the solution was to spend arduous hours carefully splitting and rejoining pieces of a music track in the hope of seamlessly extending or shortening it, often unsuccessfully because it can be extremely difficult to avoid jarring joins. Thankfully, Premiere Pro has an extraordinary solution: Remix. This automated intelligent technology analyzes the music and applies exactly the right edits to achieve the duration you want in seconds. The best way to learn about Remix is to try it. So, in the timeline panel, click the name of the drone flight sequence to select it. Oh, this ain't gonna work because I don't have music on mine. Select the Adobe stock music clip you added earlier and delete it. Okay. Oh, I deleted it. Didn't have it there anyway. From the music bin, drag the clip Ambient Heavens. I'm so excited I didn't have to get more. Where are we going? Music. Ambient Heavens. We're going to drag that to the beginning of audio track 1. Right there. This music track is too long for the sequence. You'll use Remix to adjust it. Click and hold the Ripple Edit tool. Oops. And that expands the additional tool options, and select the Remix tool. Remix tool. Check that the snapping is enabled in the timeline, so make sure that little blue thing is blue. And then use the Remix tool to trim the end of the music clip shorter until it snaps to the end of the video clips. A progress bar will show the progress of the clip analysis, and clip duration is updated. The white jagged lines indicate moments when the music clip was edited. Try playing across the edits. It's difficult to detect them. That's the magic of Remix. So let's click at the end of this and drag it till it snaps. It snapped. And you can see it's doing a clip analysis right here. Why did it do that? Remix works for making clips longer too. Delete the Ambient Heavens. Oh, it says, notice that the music clip does not have exactly the duration you chose. Remix makes an intelligent assessment of the clip and sets a new duration that will best allow for seamless joins. Remix works for making clips longer too. Delete the ambient. Don't we love when we do this? Delete that clip. I just clicked on it and hit the delete button. From the music bin, drag the Ghost Reverie music clip. Ghost Reverie. Use the Remix tool to trim the clip longer to match the duration of the video clips. So we're going to click on this and make it longer. Analysis. If you find the Remix produces a poor result, you can experiment with the detailed settings in the duration section of the Essential Sounds panel. So up here we could have fiddled with things. For now, select the selection tool, ready for the next exercise. So click the selection tool right there, and now we're ready for the next exercise. Which is creating a split edit. A split edit is a simple, classic editing technique that offsets the cut point for audio and video. The audio from one clip is played with the visuals from another, carrying the feeling of one scene into another. We're going to add a J-cut. The J-cut gets its name from the shape of the edit. Picture the letter J over in edit. The lower part of the audio cut is the upper left of the upper part of the video cut. So we're going to open the Theft Unexpected sequence in the Sequences bin. Theft Unexpected. Play the last cut in the sequence. The join in the audio between the last two clips is rather abrupt. You may need to turn up your speaker volume to hear the join. You'll improve things by adjusting the timing of the audio cut. Select the Rolling Edit tool, accessible by clicking and holding the Remix tool. Rolling Edit tool. With the default Premiere Pro preferences, you can use the Selection tool to apply Rolling Edit tool if you hold the Command or Control key. So press and hold the Option or the Alt key. This temporarily overrides link selections, and drag the audio segment edit between the last two clips, not the video. A little to the left in a single motion. Oops, I think option. Okay, we did a J cut. Play through the edit. You might want to experiment with the timing to make the cut seem more natural, but for practical purposes the J cut works. You could also smooth it over and improve it further with an audio crossfade later. Switch back to the Selection tool. An L cut works in the same way as a J cut, but in reverse. Repeat the steps, but drag the audio segment edit a little to the right while holding the Option or Alt, and then play through the edit and see what you think. So we would do the same thing by holding the, the Option. Oh, so you're just dragging it to the right of. I think we got to go back to the. That would be an L cut. Okay. So we're now going to work on adjusting audio levels for a clip. If it's not already open, open the Desert Montage sequence in the Sequences bin. Desert Montage. The music already fades up and down at the beginning and end. Let's adjust the volume between those fades. So you can see right here where it's going up and down on both ends. Use the Selection tool to drag the bottom of the A1 track header down. Or hold Option, Alt, and hover over the pointer of the track header while you scroll to make the track taller. This will make it easier to apply fine adjustments in the volume. Alright, the middle part of the music is a little too loud. Drag the middle part of the rubber band on the clip down a little. So you see that. As you drag, a tooltip appears displaying the amount of adjustment you are making. And you can see that. Each time you make an adjustment of this kind, the only way to review the results is to play the audio. Try this now, and if you're not happy with the result, you can adjust the level and review the result again. So let's... Hear it get louder. So, if the clip did not have existing keyframes, you'd be adjusting the overall level for the entire length of the clip. You can use the selection tool to adjust existing audio keyframes added to sequence clips in the same way that you might adjust visual keyframes. If you drag a keyframe up, the audio will get louder. Drag a keyframe down to make the audio quieter. If you adjust the clip audio gain, Premiere Pro combines that adjustment with any keyframe-based adjustments dynamically. You can change either at any time. The pen tool adds keyframes to rubber bands. The pen tool. There's the pen tool. You can also use it to adjust existing keyframes or to lasso multiple keyframes to adjust them as a group. You don't need to use the pen tool though. If you want to add a keyframe using the selection tool, let's go back to the selection tool. Hold Command or Control when you click the rubber band. The result of adding or adjusting the position of keyframes up or down on audio clip segments is that the rubber band is reshaped just as before. The higher rubber band, the louder the sound. Add a few keyframes to the music now with the dramatic level adjustments and listen to the results. Go crazy with the keyframes so the adjustments are obvious and then play the sequence to hear the results and watch the effect on the audio meters. Excuse me. So I'm going to hold the command. Ooh. I'm messing up. Command. Okay. Smoothing volume between keyframes. The adjustment you just made are probably pretty overwhelming. You might want to smooth these or other adjustments. To do so, right-click any of the keyframes. Back to my selection. Right-click a keyframe. You'll see a range of standard options including ease in, ease out, Bezier, and delete. If you use the pen tool, you can lasso multiple keyframes and then right-click any of them to apply change to them all. The best way to learn about different kinds of keyframes is to select each kind, make some adjustments, and see or listen to the results. Until now, you've made all your keyframe adjustments to a sequence clip segments. When working with the audio clip mixer, as you will in a moment, all adjustments are made directly to the clips in the current sequence. So the audio clip mixer provides intuitive controls to add and adjust clip volume and pan keyframes over time. Each sequence audio track is represented by a set of controls. Though the controls are organized by track names, the adjustments you make will be applied to clips, not tracks. What is a fader? Faders are industry standard controls based on real-world audio mixing decks. You move the fader up to increase the volume and move it down to decrease the volume. So let's try this. We're going to continue working with the desert montage sequence. Use the timeline display settings menu to make sure the timeline panel is set to show audio keyframes. So mine is. Open the audio clip mixer, not the track mixer. Audio clip, not the track mixer, but the clip mixer. Play the sequence from the beginning. Because you already added keyframes to this clip, the audio clip mixer fade moves up and down. You can see it doing this, following the current set level. Position the timeline playhead at the beginning of the sequence again. In the audio clip mixer, enable the right keyframes button near the top of the Audio One controls next to the mute and solo buttons. That one right there. So click that so it's blue. Play the sequence, and while it plays, make some really dramatic adjustments to the Audio One fader. Keyframes appear after you stop playback. Sorry I zoned out there. I was trying to figure out what to do here. But I'm just, as it's playing, I'm making all these adjustments. So, alright, sorry. Oh, and the bell rings. And I know this video's long, forgive me, I'm so sorry. Alright, if you repeat the process, you'll notice once again the fader follows existing keyframes until you make a manual adjustment. When you use the fader control to add keyframes, a lot of keyframes are added. Also, existing keyframes are replaced. By default, Premiere Pro adds a keyframe with every adjustment. However, you can set a minimum time gap for keyframes to make them more manageable. The way you would do that was you would choose Premiere Pro, go to Preferences, Audio, or Edit Preferences, Audio, if you're using a Windows, and you would set the minimum time interval thinning and setting to a minimum of 500 milliseconds. You would, right here, you would type that and you would say 500 milliseconds. It's relatively slow, but it provides a balance between precise adjustment and keyframe overload. So then click OK. Set the playhead to the beginning of the sequence, and once again use the audio clip mixer to add level keyframes using the fader control. Once we had changed those preferences, the result is a much more orderly adjustment. Even with the dramatic adjustment, the smaller number of keyframes is much more manageable. I didn't have enough keyframes added to really make that difference, but if you added a bunch, then you would know it. You can adjust keyframes you created this way just as you would adjust keyframes you created using the selection or pen tool. And I don't think I did any of that right, but that's okay. So what you need to do, this ends this lesson. Show me your journey to New York. I want to see all the things you did there. Show me your excuse me. Your drone flight should have something on there where that one didn't fit. Your desert montage that we just worked on, and your theft unexpected. Show me all of those things and then submit it.